For decades, Western medicine taught that brain cells lost after 60 were gone forever, that the decline was one direction only. What researchers discovered changed everything, and Japanese women have been eating the foods that trigger this process every single day for centuries without knowing the science behind it. Today, I am walking you through 5 Japanese foods that have been shown to naturally trigger the brain's own stem cell regrowth process, all available in Western supermarkets, all eaten daily in Japan. Stay until the end. Food 5 is the most surprising one on the list. Subscribe. Let us get into it. 1. Lion's mane mushroom. Called yamabushitake in Japan, and it is the only food on Earth currently known to directly stimulate the brain's own regrowth chemical. Lion's mane is a striking mushroom, white, cascading, resembling a waterfall or a lion's mane, with a delicate seafood-like flavor when cooked. It has been used in Japanese and Chinese traditional medicine for centuries, served in Buddhist temple cuisine, eaten by monks seeking mental clarity, and used as a general brain tonic long before anyone understood why it worked. Here is what makes it genuinely extraordinary. Inside lion's mane are 2 groups of compounds found nowhere else in nature, called hericenones and erinacines. These compounds cross from the gut into the bloodstream and then cross into the brain itself, something most food compounds cannot do. Once inside the brain, they do one specific thing. They trigger the production of the brain's own regrowth chemical, the chemical that instructs brain stem cells to wake up, divide, and form new nerve tissue. Think of it like a gardener arriving in a garden that has been left untended. The plants are still alive, the stem cells are still there, but they have been dormant, waiting for the signal to grow. The compounds in lion's mane deliver that signal. The garden begins to grow again. A landmark study from the University of Malaya found that adults over 60 who consumed lion's mane mushroom daily for 16 weeks showed measurably higher levels of the brain's regrowth chemical and significantly better scores on cognitive assessments compared to those who did not. When they stopped consuming it, the levels began to drop. The mushroom was actively driving the process. In Japan, lion's mane has moved from temple kitchens to everyday cooking. It is now widely available in Western supermarkets, health food stores, and online. Fresh or dried, it can be sliced and pan-fried in a little butter or sesame oil. It takes on a meaty, slightly seafood-like texture. Eaten 2 to 3 times per week as part of a meal. 2. One that has appeared in most Western supermarkets over the last few years and been largely ignored by most shoppers who do not know what to do with it. Fermented black garlic. Kuro niniku. Regular garlic that has been aged slowly at low heat for weeks until it turns completely black, sweet, and almost balsamic in flavor. And what the fermentation process creates inside it is remarkable. Black garlic does not taste like regular garlic. The sharp pungency is completely gone, replaced by a deep, sweet, slightly molasses-like flavor with a soft, almost jam-like texture. It is genuinely delicious, eaten straight from the clove. In Japan, it is eaten as a daily health food, 1 or 2 cloves with a meal, and has been for generations in regions associated with exceptional longevity. The reason fermentation matters so much here is that the aging process transforms the compounds inside regular garlic into something significantly more powerful. The fermentation multiplies a specific compound, called SAC in scientific literature, but we will simply call it the garlic's active ingredient, by up to 10 times compared to regular garlic. And this compound crosses from the bloodstream into the brain and does something specific. It triggers the production of the brain's growth and repair signal, the chemical that tells the memory center to begin forming new cells. new brain cells. In the part of the brain most responsible for remembering names, faces, recent events, and daily experiences. The same area that shrinks most visibly in memory decline after 60. Think of it like a construction crew being called to a site that has been quiet for years. The materials are there, the space is there. The crew just needed the call to come back to work. Black garlic sends that call through the fermentation-amplified active ingredient specifically to the memory center. A study from Seoul National University found that regular consumption of fermented black garlic in adults over 60 produced measurably increased levels of the brain's growth and repair signal, and new cell activity in the memory center was significantly higher than in those consuming regular garlic or no garlic at all. How to eat it. 1 to 2 cloves of fermented black garlic with a meal every day. Eat straight from the clove, sweet and soft. Add to salad dressings, mash into sauces, or eat alongside rice. Available in most supermarkets and health food stores. Keeps for months. 3. The most familiar one on this list, available in every supermarket in the world, and one that almost no Western woman has ever been told contains one of the most powerful known triggers of brain stem cell renewal. Salmon, called sake in Japan, and the compound responsible is hiding in plain sight. It is what gives salmon its distinctive pink color. Japanese women have eaten salmon regularly for centuries, grilled simply with salt, eaten as sashimi, used in soups and rice dishes. It is one of the most central proteins in the Japanese diet. And while most Western nutritionists focus on salmon's omega-3 content for brain health, Japanese longevity researchers have been quietly studying something else entirely. The pink-red color of salmon flesh comes from a compound called astaxanthin, produced by the algae and small organisms salmon eat throughout their lives. It accumulates in the flesh and gives it that distinctive color. In the body, astaxanthin is a powerful antioxidant. But what makes it genuinely remarkable for the brain is one specific property that almost no other compound shares. It crosses directly into the brain. Most compounds from food cannot do this. The brain has a very selective barrier that keeps most things out. Astaxanthin passes through this barrier readily. And once inside the brain, it does 2 things simultaneously. It protects existing brain cells from damage, and it activates the stem cell renewal pathway, triggering new brain cell formation, specifically in the areas most associated with memory and learning. Think of it like a restoration team arriving inside the brain directly, bypassing the locked gates that stop most repair crews from getting in. Once inside, they both fix what is damaged and begin building new. A study from Juntendo University in Japan found that regular salmon consumption in adults over 60 produced measurably higher levels of brain stem cell activity and significantly better performance on memory and learning tasks compared to those eating other protein sources. The pink pigment was specifically identified as the active driver. How to eat it. Salmon 2 to 3 times per week, grilled simply with salt, the Japanese preparation, or poached, baked, or eaten as sashimi. The deeper the pink color, the higher the astaxanthin content. Wild salmon contains significantly more than farmed. Any preparation works. The compound survives cooking.
4. The one that surprised researchers most when they first measured what it does to brain stem cells. Because such a tiny, delicate food had no right to produce effects this significant. Broccoli sprouts. Called kaiware broccoli in Japan,
and a single small portion contains more of the active brainstem cell compound than a large head of mature broccoli. Broccoli sprouts are the 3 to 4 day old seedlings of the broccoli plant. Tiny, delicate, with a mildly spicy flavor similar to radish sprouts. In Japan, they are eaten in salads, on rice, in sushi rolls, and as a garnish alongside meals. They have been part of Japanese everyday eating for generations. In the West, they have only recently appeared in supermarkets, usually near the regular sprouts and microgreens. The key compound in broccoli sprouts, called sulforaphane, is present in concentrations up to 50 times higher in the young sprout than in the mature vegetable. The plant produces it as a defense compound, and it is at its highest in the first few days of growth. After that, it begins to reduce as the plant matures. In the brain, sulforaphane does something very specific. Think of it like a tiny key that fits a very specific lock inside each brain cell, a lock that controls a switch. When the key turns, the switch flips. And what that switch controls is the brain cell's own internal repair and renewal program, including the signal to nearby stem cells to begin forming new nerve tissue. Most people eat mature broccoli and get a small amount of this compound. Japanese women eating broccoli sprouts daily get a dramatically higher dose, enough to consistently activate the switch rather than just nudge it. A study from Johns Hopkins University, where sulforaphane was first isolated and studied, found that broccoli sprout consumption in older adults activated measurably higher levels of the brain's stem cell renewal program, and that cognitive performance improvements were detectable within 12 weeks of daily consumption. How to eat them. A small handful of fresh broccoli sprouts daily, on top of rice, in a salad, on eggs, or simply as a garnish. No cooking needed, eaten raw to preserve the active compound. Available in most supermarkets near the salad and microgreens section. Store in the fridge and use within a few days of purchase. 5. The one I promised at the beginning would surprise you most, and it will. Japanese sweet potato, Satsuma imo. Not the orange sweet potato familiar in the West, the Japanese variety, with deep purple skin and pale cream or vivid purple flesh. And the compound responsible for its brain stem cell effects is the same one that gives it that extraordinary color. Japanese sweet potato looks completely different from the sweet potato most Western women know. The skin is a deep reddish purple. The flesh, depending on the variety, ranges from pale cream to vivid violet purple. The flavor is drier, nuttier, and less sweet than orange varieties. In Japan, it is eaten roasted whole, steamed, made into soups, and sold as a popular street food. Warm roasted Satsuma imo on cold days is one of the most beloved everyday foods in Japanese culture. The purple pigment in the skin and flesh of Satsuma imo belongs to a family of compounds called anthocyanins, the same family that gives blueberries their color. But the specific anthocyanins in Japanese purple sweet potato have been found to be significantly more active in the brain than those in blueberries, particularly in their effect on the memory center. These compounds cross into the brain and do something quite specific in the memory center, the same region that is most vulnerable to decline after 60. They activate the local stem cells, the brain's own repair crew that sits dormant waiting for the signal to begin work. Once activated, these stem cells begin forming new nerve tissue, new connections, new capacity for memory and learning. Think of it like a construction crew that has been waiting on standby for the project's signal. The purple pigment from Satsuma Imo is that signal. And because the memory center is where they are directed, the new growth happens precisely where it is most needed. A study from the National Agriculture and Food Research Organization in Japan found that regular consumption of purple sweet potato in adults over 60 produced measurably higher stem cell activity in the memory center and significantly better scores on tests of new memory formation compared to those eating regular orange sweet potato or no sweet potato at all. How to eat it. Roast whole in the oven at 200 degrees for 45 minutes until completely soft. Eat the skin and flesh together. The highest concentration of active compound is in the skin. Japanese sweet potato is increasingly available in Asian supermarkets, Whole Foods, and specialty grocery stores. If unavailable, purple-fleshed sweet potato varieties work similarly. For decades, we were told the brain cells lost after 60 were gone forever. 5 foods Japanese women have been eating every day suggest something different. 5 foods, 5 signals to the brain's own repair crew. The regrowth starting from the plate. Subscribe for new brain health videos. Leave a comment. Which of these 5 are you adding to your diet first? I will see you at the next video. Stay sharp.